Rollie, what's been the biggest thing that's jumped out from your time in Lincoln? Just the way the program operates, playing for Coach Hoiberg. Just what are some of the things that have stood out in your short time here?
Yeah, I think just the amount of stuff we do off the floor as a team. Obviously all the stuff on the floor I've enjoyed and love competing and playing, but we do a ton of stuff in the community, giving back, which I think we all love to do. And just the team camaraderie and going to lunches and dinners and everybody really spending a lot of time together really helps with the stuff on the floor. So I think that's a huge difference that I've noticed being here that I really have enjoyed.
How have you, how do you feel your skill set as a point guard fits into this offense? Now, some new guys said it's kind of a complicated offense. How do you feel like you fit in?
Yeah, I think I have a lot of experience compared to some of the other new guys that have come in, being a fifth-year guy. And I think, obviously it took some time, like everybody, to learn stuff. But I think just fitting in, being able to create for myself and others, because we have a lot of depth and a lot of great shooting. And obviously some great bigs who came in and have been here. So I think for me, just to kind of play my game, create, and be aggressive out there really sets people up and gets myself going as well.
What is that process? How do you get comfortable? Is it just repetition? What's the process?
I think a lot of it's repetition. And again, getting to know your teammates, knowing where they'll be. I remember having earlier this summer some uncharacteristic turnovers for me, just because I'm getting used to playing with certain guys and our offense, where people will be at what time and spot. But I think the most is repetition, then just building that trust with myself, between coaches and teammates.
When did you first feel comfortable with everybody?
Everyone was pretty accepting pretty early on. I think all of us get along really well within the first week or two. Obviously you got to meet people and hang out a little bit to do that, but I think on the floor it was pretty quick. Obviously we're still learning things as we go because the season hasn't even started yet, but I think I'm naturally pretty good just being a point guard, playing the position this long, picking things up.
Nebraska's had a lot of different players at the point guard role under Fred Hoiberg. As you kind of look ahead to what your role would be, what does a true lead point guard do, and what are the responsibilities that come with playing that role in Fred Hoiberg's offense?
Yeah, I think obviously take care of the ball and really push the pace. I know we want to get out and run, and we have a lot of athletes to do that this year, and that's another thing I noticed being here. And our coaches want that. So I think pushing the ball, taking care of it, and just creating plays. I mean, it can be for me, for others. I like to pass the ball and get others involved too. So I think we have a lot of guys that can do that. Like you said, a lot of guys can play point, and they've had a lot of experience in that realm. So I'm just excited to be able to play with other people that can create for me as well, and just really get the whole team going.
When you were deciding to come to Nebraska, what was it like seeing the parts come together? The other guys who are joining the team. I'm sure you're following like what they're adding and how it looked to you. What do you think of it as it was happening?
Yeah, it's interesting moving conferences because a lot of guys I hadn't played against. Like I'd played against Braxton even my freshman year when he was at Fresno State. So I knew like him coming in. I knew how much of a beast he was. But I think for a lot of the guys, I went and watched the film just to see who's coming in, what they play like. So I think I'm like you guys really with how I find out. Like everybody, you just find out through social media. But once I knew who's coming and just trusting the coaches that, and part of that's in the recruiting process, trusting that they're going to build the team they want and get the guys that fit around me and everyone else involved. So I think I had a lot of trust in that and their vision in the recruiting process.
What are one or two items you thought you could really grow your game in Hoiberg's system?
Yeah, I think just my shooting overall. I mean, who better to learn from than Coach Hoiberg? And I think the great thing about him is he spends a ton of times with us on the floor, whether it's as a team or individually, working on our shot and other things, and so do all the other coaches. So I think with him just, kind of letting it fly, tweaking a couple things in my shot, and then being able to push the ball and get up and down the floor.
What's that competition been like with you and Aaron?
Really good. Me and him get along great, and we love to battle, just like everyone else on the team. And I haven't got to play with him a lot yet, but he's a great player, and I love competing with him.
How do you feel like your shooting has progressed over the past few months?
I'm a lot more comfortable. I think just knowing where my spots will be when I'm open the offense, and then just consistently working on it, and obviously working on some things I needed to work on this offseason, but I feel really comfortable and super excited.
What did you tweak with it?
I think just small things, my balance mostly, and then my finish a little bit. At this level, I feel like most people, unless you're a big guy, it's really small things that can get you in any position, any skill set. So for me, it was just those two things probably the most.
What do you remember about playing against Braxton, and what types of challenges does he present with just his size under the basket?
Yeah, it's just his presence. He's a great shot blocker and finisher, and he's actually got some good post moves. I know it's hard for him right now because how we play defense on him. You know, I never give him a break, try and get the ball all the time, but he's a extremely huge person and a dominant force down low. And same with Andrew and JB, Justin Bowles too, has been great.
When you're running the offense, do you sometimes just throw it up there because you know he's going to go get it?
Yeah, I probably haven't done it enough, but we definitely need to keep looking at that because no one can compete with him up there.
I think Connor is maybe coming in here. What have you seen out of him as just a shooter and what he brings? Yeah,
obviously he's known to be a great shooter and he's lights out. But I think here he's been able to show more of his skill set and what he can do. He's been showing some other things on the floor. I think we all love playing with him. That's one thing I'd say about the whole team is it feels like we all love playing with each other and get along great. So it's going to be interesting because we got a lot of guys that could get some playing time and play. So it's really competitive, which is great.
Do you still have family in Nebraska?
I don't. I might have some long lost family. I haven't really met anyone yet here that I know. My great uncle actually was here and he passed away not too long ago. But I went and saw him for a little bit, so that was cool.
Hey Rollie, you're a big guard who has guarded multiple positions in the past. Is that something that's a part of your game that you're excited to do in the Big Ten?
Yeah, I think so. I think I fit into the conference well being a bigger guard. I know the Big Ten has a lot of big guards. And I knew that growing up watching and stuff, so I think my game will translate well to this league.
Just growing up as a Nebraska fan, when did it hit you that you were here and playing for Nebraska?
Probably just when I, at home decided to commit, but I think when they first reached out, it was pretty cool just for my family and stuff and my grandpa because he's a huge fan and I FaceTime him at the football games and stuff, so it's pretty cool for him and my family just being from here, growing up being a diehard Nebraska fan. I think always growing up it's weird, you don't really think about playing, there's an age when you're younger you think about playing here and then when you don't know how good you'll be you kind of have no clue, and then being from Montana is a little different to get recruited, so once they reached out and I took the visit, it was all kind of surreal moment.
They're going to announce the Big Ten schedules later today. As one of the few guys that has played out west, what are some of the challenges that come with the UCLAs and Oregons and Washingtons?
Yeah, I think I know Washington got a new coach, but I always thought all those teams were coached great, and USC, I guess. But I thought they were always coached well, they play hard, and they have really good athletes and talent. And so I know the Big Ten is a bigger league and a more physical league, but I think just playing West Coast and Pac-12 and playing some teams in the preseason, I know the Pac-12 likes to get, or used to get up and down, so those teams like to run and are very skilled.
Thanks, Rollie.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.